In terms of using the breath as a means to coming into presence, something I tend to say a lot actually is, so in our modern complexity, where there's just so many things, so many things, so different than like thousands of years ago, if you just be a cow herder out in the fields and just every day, all you had to do was just kind of watch over these cows and make sure they stay together, where you don't even know what's beyond your little village in the forest surrounded by wilderness. No YouTube, not this endless stream of information and complexity. No sense of minutes, hours, seconds, but rather just the sun at dawn, the sun at midday, dusk, and night. So, in this modern complexity, if we have one single thing, one tangible, accessible thing that we can return to, return to, as a clear, tangible place for our presence, it's extremely useful because you only have to remember one thing. So, as one navigates through this modern complexity, if for one's spiritual life, spiritual path, spiritual practice, if there's one single thing one has to remember to return to after engaging with one's life, it makes everything uh, much smoother. So then, if one um, gains that faith and conviction that, like, the breath is going to be my place of presence, the breath is going to be my place where I grow my spiritual garden. The breath is going to be the place where I grow wholesome qualities and eradicate and remove unwholesome qualities. So, to make the breath into our single ground, single garden for our spiritual purification, spiritual development, and particularly also this word sensing. So, for breathing and sensing to be the one single thing where we develop our place of presence. And if one develops this breath awareness around this area, around the chest area, throat area, also upper abdomen, wherever that feels most prominent, comfortable, and natural to connect with the breath. This place of awareness of the breath eventually is very, very close to the heart. And the Buddha described that as one develops a deeper and deeper connection with the breath, there is a deepening of sensitivity. Breathing, one starts to gain a deeper and deeper sensitivity of the body, continuing to develop a connection with the breath. One then develops a deeper sensitivity to like the emotional and mental stuff. And as one develops a connection, intimacy, and roots with the breath, the Buddha described that one then can develop a sensitivity to the heart itself. So, if this breathing and sensing, if one really devotes oneself to it with conviction as one's place of presence, one place of presence, the breath also is what can start to bring out our heart sensitivity, heart nature. And I a bit forgot the second part of your question, but this is what I can remember from it. So basically, when you have placed your awareness in this breathing area, heart area, breathing and sensing, when we are in the superficial habitual state, so let's say when we are, there's just so many things, but when we are basically, let me give like a concrete example. Let's say you want to buy something and then you go onto Amazon or onto the internet and then you start just like searching for this thing and there's like millions of different options or whatever. So then you start getting like really engaged with like trying to like discern all the differences between these similar things and you start getting restless. There's like a lot of doubt of like which one to buy and concern. Like as one faces all this diversity of options, like one starts concerning about what to get, like that's going to be the best. And let's say 2 hours go by that one is caught up in this searching and concerning and doubting. So when one's in a superficial habitual state, you know, you can kind of just do that. And then basically the experience ends. You decide to buy something. And then usually what we do is just kind of push that away and then move on with our day. Push that away and move on with our day. But then if we have this one single place that we are returning to as our place of presence and place of spiritual development, let's say one gets caught up into that, sucked into that, with that alertness quality, noticing, recognizing that, and then returning back to the breathing and sensing, you may discover when you connect with your breath that like actually that whole time you were searching for this thing, your whole being was like constricted, like that there was like this constriction actually energetically at this deeper dimension of our being that whole time. Connecting to that breathing and sensing after something like that, one may just realize like, oh, I'm super agitated. And then one could also gain like insight, clarity about like, for instance, like in that doubting and concerning about what to buy, how that concerning, how that was like affecting one's breath and ultimately one's heart, how that was affecting our core nature. So this breathing can act as a means to start to give us a perspective on how our behaviors, habits, and mental activities are affecting our core nature. Things that we tend to normalize or think of as no big deal, when with sincerity we connect with the breathing and sensing and look out from it. There's many, many things we can start to discover